I know we're a minute early, but I'd rather be a minute early than a minute late. I know I hate waiting for people. How's everybody doing tonight, Mary? How are you doing up there in Ishpeming? Linda's here. Hi, Linda.
She's going crazy.
And tonight I have Ken here with me. How are you doing up there?
Hold on.
And I have Sarah here with me. And tonight I have Sarah has to turn the volume off because she's overriding my microphone, I think. Hey, I just got a notification that Quilt Along with Kathy is live right now. So, whoops. Let me get back to where I need to be. How are you guys doing tonight? It up here in the UP, it's been pretty dreary and dull all day today. But that's okay. I got some shopping in with my granddaughter and my great grandson, and we had a lovely time. And today just happens to be Sarah's birthday. I won't sing to her because I don't want you all ending up with bleeding ears when you hear my voice. So today, what we are going to look at is we are going to look at the 6-piece Tacoma quilt kit. And I have the 18-inch size and I have the 12-inch size. Now, with the kit, I want to make sure that you know everything that comes with the kit. That is important because we're going to just use these things to make the quilt, but we also have some other things that we can add on to embellish it and make it a whole lot nicer. Hi, Tam, Lori, Jan, you made it. Aura, hi, welcome. Janice is here too. Lori is here. Happy birthday, Sarah. Dee, hi. It's so nice to have everybody here. I know this is a pretty big weekend, not only in the United States, but happy Canada Day, a day late to all of our Canadian friends. And of course, we celebrate our 4th of July on guess. First one who can guess what day we celebrate the 4th of July, I'm going to give you a gift. Okay? So Ken or Sarah will watch for that. Who gets that answer first? And then we're going to sell a little gift. Oh, Linda, Linda got it. The 4th of July is celebrated on the 4th. Of course it is. Linda, I'll get a hold of you later.
If that wasn't something your father would have said.
Oh, my father, he was a jokester. So, anyway, let's go over what comes in the Tacoma kit. I would advise anybody to get the kit. The reason being is it comes with 5 templates. Some of them you may already have, and if you do, cool. If not, no big deal. Hi, Marcia from Illinois. But it does come with the book. And this is, and I'm going to go over the book just a little bit with you, but it is a good sized book. It comes with 5 different templates. I only count 4. Okay, so it comes with the 2-piece Tacoma templates, and that's this one and this one. It comes with a 2-piece, oh, there we go, that's the 5. 2-piece Circles on Quilt set 1 and a 7.5-inch Spin Effects 4. So let me show you these things individually. Okay. Hi, Terry. Not in Hermansville tonight. Oh, well, that's okay. We still like to see you. Hi, Charlene and Marcia. Michelle's here. Rhonda's here. Linda's here. Why, my goodness, you guys are so faithful. I really appreciate that. I really do. So, what I've got here is the book. Now, there's a couple of things about these templates that I'm going to show you in a little while, but I just want to touch on this first. It's really important with this particular book to read through everything first.
Judy P made it live. Okay.
Judy P, hi. Oh, finally you made it live. Judy is very close neighbor just up north of us here.
Hey.
What we have is we have a Tacoma template that you stitch out from the center and one that you stitch back to the center. So they serve very different and very specific purposes. They come in an 18-inch and a 12-inch length. You can go all the way up to an 18-inch block on this.
Oh, Rama is here.
Rama, welcome. I'm glad you made it all the way from India. Silver Dolphin, it's good to see you. And Roxanne, it's great to see you too. So, what I want you to see is you will get different looks if you put your blocks at different sizes.
Oh, man said happy birthday.
Thank you.
You okay?
Now,
Yeah, it just
one of the things, I don't have my quilt here because Stacy has it, but I also want you to see that you could do different shapes. How cool is this for a hexagon? I mean, that would just be so cool to have this one in the middle and then regular blocks around it. The book gives you 25 blocks. The other thing that I really like about this book, and let me get back here, is when it talks about fabric and cutting requirements, it gives you for a 9 block, 12 block, 16, and on it goes, up to a 30 block quilt, which measures 77 by 92 and a half. So what Leonie has done here has given us the opportunity to make any size we want, and we don't have to figure the yardage out ourselves, which is awesome, especially for people like me. I find I'm usually helping people figure out their yardage.
4:30 a.m. in India.
4:30 a.m. for Rama. Well, geez, thank you so much for coming in. That's almost to me, that would be the middle of the night. Okay, so for you who are in the U.S., of course, we don't use metric. We use imperial sizes. So, mhm. 1 meter of fabric, which is how this book addresses your requirements. And you may want to jot this down for further reference, but 1 meter equals 1.09361 yards. So if something calls for 2 meters, what you're going to do is you're going to take 1.09361 and multiply it by 2, and then you'll know how much yardage you need.
Get 5 yards, be just right.
Ken says just go ahead and buy 5 yards. It'll work. I think he's seen me do that one too many times. Okay, so enough of the book, but I do want you to see it comes in beautifully illustrated, colored pictures. It's very, very well written and detailed. So what I want to do here is I want to show you the actual, whoops, I'm sorry. Lois is here with us too. Hi, Lois. I want to show you the actual templates. If I can get them out of the bag. Boy, I'm having trouble tonight. Okay, here's the 2 templates. Remember, I told you 1 template you're going to stitch in and 1 template you're going to stitch out. Here's how we know. First off, this template is made to be used on a pin. Okay, I'm going to try something a little later if there's time to do a little design without the pin. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but we'll find out together. Okay, so this is the template 12. This is, I got to turn it around so I can read it. This is template 1, and it's got a little mark over here that tells me it's template 1. Template 1 is always stitched from the center out. Now, how are we going to remember that? Well, if you're old like me and your memory lasts about as long as a cup of coffee stays hot, you got to write it down. But Leonie, again, took care of us here. So what she did was she etched lines showing the direction that we're going to sew in. So we're going to sew from the center out. Okay, then we're going to replace that template with template 2, which is right here, T2, and we're going to sew back into the center. And we have those arrows telling us exactly how we need to do that. This is the 12-inch size. I'll show you the 18-inch size. It's considerably larger. Chris, I'm so happy to see you. Thank you for joining. EK, welcome. Matt and Hilda, welcome. Joyce, too. My goodness, we're seeing all kinds of friends tonight. Isn't that awesome? So what I've got here is I have the template 1 and the template 2, which are exactly the same as the 12-inch. They're just longer, but they're stitched the same. Template 2 is always going to come back. Template 1 is going to go away from the center. So, and you'll notice staple tape both sides and lots of it. Okay. Now, this may remind you of a clamshell. And if it does, you got it right. These shapes are very much like a clamshell. Now, there is another template that does not come with the set. However, I really think it's a great set to have with the Tacoma templates. And what this is an echo. These are echoes. And these also are designed to be put on a pin. Get these out here. And we've got them in all different sizes. There's two sizes on each one of the echo. And what you'll notice is that these lines come to a point where this pinhole is, the tack hole. It's always going to give you this beautiful vertical line, vertical center line. It's going to give you the horizontal lines where the pinhole is. So what you'll do is you'll stitch from here to here to here, and then you're going to twist it all the way around. This can be done with or without the Tacoma templates. Look at these. Aren't those beautiful little wreaths? I could see these being done with maybe an applique in the center, or an embroidery in the center, or a spinifex in the center. You know, we're only limited by your imagination. Again, the instructions for these are very clear and very easy to understand. So those are the things that we're going to get to start on tonight. Now, I'm going to ask if there's any questions before we get going, because there's one more thing I want to show you, but I got to reach it here. The one thing that my students, and hi Kendra, hi Rhonda and Gail, Christine will definitely agree with me. The one thing that my students went, when we did the Tacoma quilt, it's a 24 reference lines. We put in 24 reference lines for these quilts. Okay, that's not so bad if you have the ultimate 24 crosshair ruler. Yeah, it's my husband is over here laughing at me. So we have the ultimate 24. It's 24 point crosshairs. We also have a 32 point crosshair ruler. What I'm going to suggest, if you're going to get the Tacoma set, go ahead and splurge on this. It is going to make your life so much easier. And you can use it in a lot of different ways, not just for the Tacoma. And the quilt is called the Ranges quilt. Again, lots of different designs, lots of different ideas. They are all based on the same
Oh, Ron had
property.
good thought.
Rhonda, yes, you can to a degree. Actually, you need both the 8 point and the 6 point in order to do that right. I never quite got it. I'm going to be honest with you. When it came to that, it just was one of those things that kept flying above my head. Okay, here we go. Let's get the fabric out. Okay, here's my 24 points. Okay, now I want to back you up a little bit,
Oh, you already did that.
and I'm going to raise you up just a hair. There we go. And you get to see all kinds of messiness on my desk, but that's all right. And tighten up all these little things here. I'm going to use the 12-inch size. Okay. Now, the thing about this is when you get out here outside of your block size, you're going to make a lot of really kind of like weird connecting threads. Okay. We have several lines we can line up. Let me show you what I mean. If I get, there it is. We can line up on the first horizontal line, second, or third. Depending on which horizontal line you line up on is going to determine the width of your Tacoma design. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start at the innermost line. Now, the other thing you can do if you want is you can go ahead and put your circle in first. I'm not going to do that tonight. Okay, I do need to do some adjusting here, though. I didn't do that before. And you guys know I'm a fanatic about adjusting this foot. It's such an important thing to do. I'm going to just go into 4 different quadrants tonight so that you can see different ways of using this. I'm lining up my reference line number 1 with this reference line on the ruler. Okay, I'm pull my thread up. It is important to have that stable tape on both sides. And you know what? Practice. It's a good time to use up bobbin thread that you're not going to use for anything else. And then,
What color is
and
that
then here,
bobbin thread?
my bobbin thread is red tonight. Okay, that's all right. Nobody's going to see it but us, right? And you guys aren't going to tell anybody. Yes, you, Rhonda, you can. Oh, yeah, we already talked about that. Okay, just want to make sure. I like to have my stable tape where my fingers are going to be. Holding this template from the first stitch to the end, you can see how awkwardly placed my fingers are. It's very uncomfortable. It really is. So what I did was I put stable tape where my finger and my thumb is. When I get out here farther, then I'm going to go ahead and move my fingers as I go along. So here's my first stitch in place. And we're just going to nice and easy. Now, when our foot, or our needle, I should say, hits that line of stitching, there we go. That's as far as we go. We're not necessarily going to go all the way down into this little area. because we want to stop our stitching for this particular design on that line. So here we go, on to the next one. And yeah, got to go the wrong way. There we go, that's better. And again, stopping on the line. And now I'm going to move my fingers up here. Remember, when we're doing a curve, we want to keep that that stitching just a little shy of what we normally stitch. Now I'm going to come up here. This line is where I would draw my block size. Okay, it's just a good kind of idea about where you should do it if you're looking for a 12-inch block, because this is the 12-inch template. Okay, so now I've come all the way out. What you can see is we've got half of our design stitched. Hi, Julie, how are you? Okay, so I'm going to go that way. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come around and I am going to, there it is. That was my template one. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to get rid of this thread here for you too. Okay. I wish I had my Tacoma quilt here to show you guys. So now what I want to do is I want to put this on here. I want this line to line up. So I've got to move myself up here. Okay, there we go. Now I'm all lined up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch back to the center. Remember, this is just one way of doing this. There's a lot of different designs that you can make. I kind of like this because it's easy. It gives us a whole different look. And it also gives us a whole lot of different ideas if we want to template. And one more time. Now what I need to do is I need to come in here. So I'm going to come around. And this is going to stop me at the perfect point. Okay. So now I am going to go ahead and I'm going to take this off. Am I going to put this on next or no, I'm not. I need to move myself over first. Over to the next one. And you know what? I think I was supposed to stop here, guys. It's been a while since I've used these. I come out just a little. There we go. Just dropped one. Who wants to keep count? That was number one for tonight. Hi, Therese. Yeah, it's always good to see you here. Joyce, you too. Oh, I'm sure you did love making that ranges quilt. It is so much fun. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move myself up again. Oops, I went too far. I'm going to go here, come down to my line, and come back up. And that's just one thing you can do. I'm going to show you the basic stitching on this pass. Okay. Your line of stitching should usually come in contact with the next line. not over it. Okay, so now I'm all the way out. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn it this way. I'm going to take this one off. Make sure I've got the right one. Okay. Oh, there it is. Let's say, what did I do with it? Okay, gonna go ahead and put this one on. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now this time what's going to happen is we're going to come down and we're going to touch on the center of the little clams before that were stitched in the previous line. And this is the most common way of doing them. We're going to stop when we hit that previous line of stitching. I think I went over just a hair. It's okay. It's practice, right? And we're going to keep coming. Remember to get that stitch length a little smaller. And here we go. Got one more to do. And we're going to stop here. Okay. My foot just came loose. I need to tighten that down because what happens when our foot goes loose is it flops all over the place and then we end up with skipped stitches. I hate to tighten it too tight because we can end up stripping the screws then. Okay, so now I'm going to come and go in here. There we go. Whoops, there. I need to come up this way to my next line. Again, this template is telling us to stitch out. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to stop when we hit the little clam, a row briar, and then we're going to get out of the way so we can put our other template back on and go back to the center. Can you do them both at once? Absolutely, you can. And what I mean by that is I can come here, and I'm just going to get out of the way. And like I did before here, I want to show you that again. And put that one there, this one here. Now, I can definitely line this up. I'm going to put that pin in. Whoops. I'm dropping stuff. My pin just came out. That's what the problem is. Okay, so for those of you who are counting, that was drop number 2. And I need to find my tag. Because either me or the dog is going to step on it. I don't care about me, but I don't want my dog to step on it. Poor little guys. Okay, here we go.
Did you find it?
I found it. Thank you. Okay, and it is back in, and I'm going to put tape over it. Joyce, you don't like all the cutting. You know, this is made to be templated, and the cutting is gorgeous on it, but it's a lot. You're absolutely right. There is a lot of cutting on this quilt. Okay, there we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this number 1 on. I'm going to line it up with the same line that I went out on. Okay, and I'm going to end right here. And that's going to be the middle of the first clamshell looking template. Okay, now as far as all of this out here, it's going to be really messy. It's going to be really ugly. Okay, that's just the nature of the beast. And don't worry about it. Nobody's ever going to see it because you'll be cutting that off anyway. What I'm doing right here, I'm using the 12-inch template on a 14-inch block. Gives you some ideas. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to come back down here to our marked line. And now you can probably understand why you need so many crosshair reference lines. If we did it with fewer lines, these would have to be much deeper. Oh, I came off of it a little bit because my little dog just came around and I was paying attention to him. Okay, so we're going to stop here, take this one off.
Patricia's from Minnesota, so hi.
Hi, Patricia. Welcome. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and come over. There we go. Now I'm going to stitch around my circle here, and then I'm going to move my template to the next line. Can we skip lines? Yes, we can. We can skip lines. However, I caution you that if you plan on templating it, it's going to make it a little more difficult. Let's go ahead and try that. I'm going to skip a line, and we'll see just what that looks like. Move my hand around the camera here. And we're going to come all the way out towards the end. Okay, so what happens when you skip the line is you're going to have this big space right here. Okay? But there's something we can do to make it more interesting. I'm going to flip my template over. I'm using the same template. Now, I am not changing templates. I'm going to go outside of this template. And remember, this is ugly, but it's okay because nobody's going to see it. It's all going to be cut off. Remember, this one is only supposed to go out. Well, we're going to cheat, and we're going to make it go in. So here's what's going to happen. And this is why I love Tacoma templates. This is a lot of fun. And what do you think we're going to have? Circles. Isn't that cool? Just by flipping the same template. I look at this and I see a snowman. Okay? Even if it is July, I still see a snowman. So now what I can do is put my template back, flip it down. I end it there. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stitch to the next line. move my template, and I can keep stitching. Okay, now let's do something a little bit different with this one. Let's take a look at the book and see what it can show us that makes it interesting. Okay. This one is block 10, called the clematis track. And what makes this one interesting is you are going to have the same direction that we've been doing, but what's going to make it different is that you're going to end up with one template that looks like a ginkgo leaf and another one that looks like a mustache, an upside down mustache. So you're going to be flipping it to make what's called a melon. If you've ever done a wedding ring quilt, you'll notice this shape right here is a melon. So that is another thing to do with this, which is very interesting. I think I'm going to bypass that one. I would like to show you this one. This one is very similar to what we just did as far as the first line. So I'm going to go ahead and come over here and I'm going to follow through. Okay. So this is the line I'm going to go out. I'm going to use the second reference line instead of the first or the lowest one. Okay. And I'm going to stop on the marked line. And around we're going to go. And one more time. Okay, off we go. Now, what you're going to see is this is not anywhere near as round as this. So what I want to show you is how it's going to look when we stick this back in and we do the other side. And when we come around, again, we're going to line ourselves up with that central line of the template, and we're going to come back to the center. Again, ignoring what's going on out here. We don't want to worry about that. Now, what's going to happen? This is important to note. Remember, every time that we take a stitch, we're shrinking this fabric in. So what's going to happen is these points that we want to meet up with are going to be in a different spot when we come back than they were when we went up. So what I would suggest to make sure we get it right, see, I just gave that a little tug. I'm going to put this down. I want to make sure that I'm going to come back on that spot. And there we go. Perfect. Now, just like any clamshell, from this point forward, I'm going to come up to the center. Do I need to make any adjustments? You see, I can make some small adjustments with my template to make sure that this peak is where I'm going to meet. And down I'm going to go until I meet that peak. Perfect. I'm going to take a look where I'm at with the next one. Chances are these two are going to be closer than the far out ones. Don't understand the math behind it, but it does work. Again, we'll stop at the top and see if we need to make an adjustment, which we don't. And over we're going to go. And one more time. And we're back to the beginning. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch. I'm going to skip this line, the next line, and we're going to go to the third line. This is reference line 1, reference line 2. We're going to go to 3. So what's kind of cool on this one is you don't need 24 reference lines. You can get by with just 12. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use that circle, use that center circle. And we're going to stop right here. We're going to go on the center line one more time. Ooh, you know what? I went too far. That's okay. No worries. I'm just going to go back. There we go. And remembering to shorten up those stitches just a little bit. Take your time. It's a journey. One more hump to get over. And there we go. Gonna come all the way up. Stop. I've got half of the design done. As you can see, I'm going to put the template flipped over again on the center line. Come back over here. Now, what you're going to see is this one is off by quite a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line myself up. And I'm not really sure why that arrow is on there. But I'm going to take it off because it's really just kind of in the way right now. Okay, I'm just going to do a little adjusting here. Adjusting is good. How you guys doing? You got any questions for me about this? Does this look like something that's interesting? I think to template this, there's so many options and opportunities. I think I went and stitched too far. Oh no, it turned out perfect. Just when you think you're going to mess up is when you do things just right. It's when you're confident that you're going to do it right is when you mess up. At least it is for me. Okay, touch that point, and there we go. And back around. And one more time. And back where I want to be. Now I'm going to go ahead and use the center, and I'm going to stitch out. Isn't that beautiful?
Or Lee said this is interesting.
Or thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, it can be fun because what you can do is come in. You don't have to. That's something that we should talk about. When we template things, we don't have to template the centers. We could template everything around them. And it can be just as interesting if we do it that way. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and whoops. Next week, I'm hoping to have my 301 back out here. For any of you who are friends on my Facebook page, you will know that.
Judy P had so much fun making this quilt.
Yeah, she did a great job on it. It turned out really nice.
Block 15 was her favorite.
Block 15. Let's take a look at what block 15 is, because you know me and my memory, Judy. Okay. Oh, yeah. This was awesome. This was absolutely awesome. So to do this block, we're going to use the stitch and flip. And this is kind of a neat thing that Leonie does with this set of templates. You can get a process. There it is. And let me show you what that is. This is called the stitch and flip. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up one side and then down the next to make this beautiful little motif, I guess we want to call it. So let's go ahead and let's show everybody Judy's favorite block, okay?
Cindy said she's impressed you can do this without gloves.
Well, I am used to doing free motion with gloves. And there's other times I use gloves too. Believe it or not, when I'm putting bindings on, I use a glove because you're working with so much fabric and it's so heavy. The glove helps you move it. And there are times when I'm doing this process that I will, in fact, use gloves also. Tonight, I'm just not feeling it, I guess.
Spitting on your hands.
Yeah, we're just letting it go. Okay, so I'm going to go around a little further for this technique. And we'll start on this line, okay? So what we're going to do, it's called stitch and flip. And we're only going to go a quarter of the way. So we're going to go from here to here. And I think what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to move it out a little bit into some of the bigger places for you to see. Okay, we'll go like that. So what I need to do is I need to go, let me pull this here so you can see it. I'm going to start.
Can I tell somebody what your Facebook page is?
Yes, you certainly can. I'm going to start here and I'm going to come up here. Let me make sure I've got this right. We're going to start here and come up to the center on the next line. And I think I'm going the wrong direction. Yep, I'm going in the wrong direction. I need to be going opposite. I'm sorry. It's been a while since I've done this. Okay, so. Okay, here we go. We're going to start at the high point and go to the line. Okay. Then we're going to flip. And now we're going to start at the high point and go to the line again. And we're going to stop at the halfway mark. Then I'm going to flip and stitch.
You want attention all of a sudden.
Uh-oh, one of them is looking for attention.
All of them.
Oh, all of them are looking for attention. I don't know how many of you guys have animals. We have 3 dogs. I think I've probably mentioned that before. Anyway, I have one who's deathly afraid of fireworks. And so tonight we're drugging the dog. It's a chill pill from the vet. Last night I gave him half, didn't work. So tonight we're going to go with the full dose that the vet said to use and give him a whole pill.
He's definitely afraid of Lily, who's like a quarter of his size.
He is a chicken. He is. So you see what's happening here? I am stitching from the top to the bottom of the template. I'm stopping on the line. Okay. There's a quarter. I call it a quarter of a circle because that's exactly what it is. A quarter of the circle. Now I'm going to take it off, turn it over, and now I'm going to stitch the next quarter, and what that's going to do is make a half circle. Now we're going to stop right there. And this is what comes of it. Isn't that cool? Now this again is another place that would be really awesome to make a border and put something in the center. Now what I want to do, I'm all caught up here. I want to come back down. I did. I just smashed my hand. Sarah says, I think she just smashed her hand. Okay, so now I'm going to flip it again. This time I'm going to come up. And I'm going to stop at my halfway point. I'm going to take this off and I'm going to flip it again. It's a lot of flipping, isn't it? And down we're going to go. Stop at the line. Take it off and flip it. The one thing I love about this, these are so versatile. They are just so versatile.
Making circles.
I am making circles.
2D pieces. No.
No. Pug mixed with Chihuahua and Jack Russell Terrier. Aura, I applaud you. That is awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do this one more time.
Oh, the pug is almost 16 now, she said.
Oh, my goodness.
About the same age as Lil Beans.
Yeah, we have one that's 16 as well.
Almost 17.
Almost 17, yeah.
Snarky.
A Snarky. It's a mix between
Schnauzer.
Schnauzer and a Yorkie, yeah. It's my granddaughter's. So now we can make whole circles all the way around. Oh, yeah, it is like KP. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you being here. Rama, you're back. Yay. So now we've done this. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get rid of the thread. Going to cut it off because now I want to show you how the echoes work. Okay. And what I did was I showed you tonight all with the 12-inch Tacoma templates. The 18-inch Tacoma templates work exactly the same way, guys. Exactly.
What?
I don't know how many of you get a chance to watch Rama when she posts in the Westerly by Me site, but she does so many different things, and she does everything she does a beautiful job at. So if you get a chance to look at hers, definitely take a gander, okay?
She'll be by herself next week.
Next week I'll be alone, I just got told.
Yes, Dad and Mike will be at Slinger, and I have a work engagement that I am obligated to.
Wow. You guys will have to be good to me. Hey, Chris, you want to come over next Tuesday evening? Okay, here is the Echo. The Tacoma Echo 2 is the one we're going to use with that. How do I know it's the right size? Well, I know it's the right size because I place it on here and you can see that I've got an equidistance between the template and, of course, on my foot. Could I go a size smaller? Let me see if I can. This is a ½ inch. This is a ¼ inch. So let's take a look. Absolutely, we can use a ¼ inch. The ¼ inch will come a quarter of an inch away from this line of stitching. So let's go ahead and we'll do them both, okay, guys? I think that's a great idea. I'm going to show you what it is to put more than one on. You know, and if you don't have the Tacoma templates, This is a great set of templates to have too. It can be used in a lot of different ways for a lot of embellishments. There we go. Want you to see good. Thank you, Aura. I appreciate that. She said I can do it by myself. I got this. Okay. Pull my bobbin thread up. Or I would say it definitely is going to depend on the templates we're going to use
That's what I
next
said.
week.
Hopefully, it's a good one.
Hopefully,
easy
it's
one.
an easy one, right? By the way, if you guys are around tomorrow morning, this is the template set that I am going to be demonstrating tomorrow at Coffee with Kathy. It's the Artisan Circle set. I've got some really fun things that I worked out on that for you. Okay. How do we use this? We're going to line up the center line between the Tacoma, between the circular shapes here. Whoops, wrong button. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch to my center. Again, this is one of those curved shapes. We want to go a little smaller on the stitch length. And get rid of those. Now all we have to do is twist the template. It's that easy. It really is so easy. And down we go. It's going to stop right on that line where we need it to. Okay, and if we need to adjust, here's the place to do it, right there. And if you look here, you will never be able to tell we adjusted that. Come over, and I'm going to twist that template again. Stop in the center. My line is lining up perfectly. When I do it on the circles like this, it looks like Mr. Magoo's eyes. Okay, and now we're going to finish that one up. And now you can see why it's called the Tacoma Echo. Beautiful, isn't it? Now what we can do is we can come back. I'm going to stitch up just a little bit. Normally I would go ahead and break thread, but this is practice, right? I'm going to put the template back in place with that vertical center. And I might need to go half a stitch that way. Now I'm going to go back. And twist that template and come around. Don't forget to take that extra stitch right here. The reason that we like to take that extra stitch is because it's kind of a sharp corner. And by taking the extra stitch, we ensure the sharpness of the corner. Okay, here we go. And we have one more to do. Oh, that was my fault. Sorry, guys. I kind of maybe should have those gloves on, right? So what I used here was a 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch. And those are the only two sizes I have for that size, is the 1/4 and the 1/2 inch. So there we go. That is an awesome way to echo. You can use these alone to make a frame. And I'm just going to there we go. Let's just make a little bit of a frame real quick here for you. I know I always run out of time. Oh, and this is why I normally don't use my automatic cutter. I can never pull up that bobbin thread, it seems like. Well, I shouldn't say never. Never is pretty finite. I almost never get to pull it up easily. Okay. So this is the 1/2 inch. And all of these will nest. So you can get 3, 4, 5 different lines of stitching echoing each other. There we go. I'm going to go ahead.
Di says hi once again, everyone. I'm late to the party.
Hi, Di. Sorry. You said I think you told me you were going to be a little late tonight. Okay, so there's the 1/2 inch. Now I'm going to put the 1/4 inch here and just going to stitch down until my foot just nestles in there. And we'll do one more rotation of that. And off we go. So there we have just the echo.
She's half in the bed, half on the floor.
That's how she does it. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. Joyce. Yes, it does work well for spider webs. You know, we are very fortunate. We have a lot of different templates that work good for spider webs. Absolutely. So this is the Tacoma, guys. I hope that you've enjoyed this. And we're pulling out next week's. Anybody got? Oh. I like these kinds. Circles on Quilts Spinning Wave 9. Okay. Linda. Great. Oh, thank you. Yeah, why? That's a good plan for tomorrow. Take those Tacomas out and play with them, Linda. Tomorrow I'm going to be delivering quilts. I get to bring my sister her second Foxglove Manor quilt that I just finished up. And I have a surprise quilt that's going to my sister-in-law, who I'm going to see tomorrow as well, which is really exciting for me. I don't get to see them often. So, Di, you can go back and watch. We always record these. Just a couple things I'd like to say is, we're celebrating Canada Day yesterday, and it's probably a celebration that lasts most of the week. And I learned yesterday that Canada has the biggest fireworks display in the world for Canada Day. They shoot them off over the Detroit River. Unfortunately, we live in the Upper Peninsula and we cannot see them over the Detroit River.
No, there's a hill between here and there.
Right, there's a hill between here and there. And as we in the U.S. are going to be celebrating our Independence Day on Thursday the 4th, right, Linda? She answered that question correct. So I'm going to be sending off a little gift to her. Please drive carefully. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Terry. Drive carefully, drive defensively, watch out for the other guy. Don't blow off your fingers with it by holding on to any fireworks, okay? Take it easy and enjoy the time with family and friends. Make the most of it, make some good memories, and we will see you back here a week from now, working with the Spinning Wave 9. So until then, let's quilt.